Hello, Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Can you believe it? It's 1 year since we're doing these Monday tips. 1 whole year. It's time to celebrate. I wanted balloons, I wanted a cake, but apparently I wasn't allowed. Budgets and all. So, here's what you got. But I can't believe it. We did. This is week number 53. Unbelievable, huh? Thanks to everybody out there for all sending their tips. Keep sending them, because hopefully this will be an annual celebration. And in honor of our annual celebration, I might have a red stripe. And I put together 10 of my favorite tips. And I'm going to read them to you David Letterman style. So like he used to do that top 10 thing, I'm going to do my top 10 thing. And I'm going to bring in a celebrity on each tip to give them to you. Yeah, I've been planning this for a little while. So with no further ado, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips delivered by different celebrities. Ready? All right. Countdown is on. Over to the celebrities. Tip number 1. Not the celebrity you thought, huh? AARP gift cards. We say it over and over again in the last year. You get 10% off when you buy these gift cards, and you can buy them up to $25 a month, up to $500 value. And it'll cost you $12 to join AARP if you're eligible. I think even if you're not, you can still do it. But it's one of their premium awards. So, you know, you have a $5,000 cruise, it's going to cost you $4,500. Who's going to argue with that? And I'll put the link in the comments. AARP gift cards. That is your tip number 1. Tip number 2. I think I actually did this one recently, but it's a great tip I love to share. And you may not have seen this 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you are on the West Coast, you can check in for your cruise at 9 o'clock the night before the official check-in date. It goes to midnight Eastern. So if they say your cruise checks in at on May the 2nd, that's my birthday, you can check in at 9 p.m. on May the 1st if you are on the West Coast. Do the rest of the math on the others. But that's one of my favorites because it's a little one, but it saves you having to get up at like you think whatever time in the morning to check in. So yes, check-in time is midnight Eastern. Adjust your clocks accordingly for that. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3. Cabin location when you're booking your cruise. Always check where the cabin is before you book it. Try and avoid doing anything above the casino, below the piano bar, under the Lido deck. Know where the noise is likely to be late or early in the morning, and try and avoid booking there unless you have to. So many people just take a cabin and they're very disappointed when they get on board. Do you even know if it's midship, aft, forward? Check the cabin location. You can go online and you can download all of the deck plans on all the ships, as I have. I have them all to touch. When I want to go on a ship, before I book, I look and see where that cabin is. And as a little joint tip on there, remember this, when you're booking your cruise, when you put it in, you're putting your information in. You're putting your VIFP number in. And then you add the other people down the line on the booking. Don't forget, they may have a better offer than you do. Like travel agent, blah, blah, blah. We can put everybody in at the same time. So when I book a cruise for somebody, I know exactly what the best offer is. Because if 4 of you are going and it combines all 4 offers and I see everybody's offers in one. You're going to see that on Carnival necessarily. So make sure you are checking everybody's VIFP numbers to make sure when you book that cruise, you are getting the best offer available to everybody, not just the one person you put in up front. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4. Number 4, change. Bring change. Bring it for when you get to the ship, to give to the porters for picking up your luggage. Bring it for when you go ashore. Bring it for all sorts of things. Don't show up without some 1s and 5s for the trip. It's a big one. You may not think it's a big one, but you'll find many mornings you'll be running around trying to find change because you haven't got any. You've only got 20s, and you know, don't want to tip people at 20 necessarily. And when you go ashore, especially in places like Mexico where things are a lot cheaper, you know, you give too much cash, you're going to get change in local currency. So you probably want to use a card when you go into restaurants and bars and stuff like that, but have some cash for tips. Makes sense, right? Now, did you also know on the ship, this is the bonus 2-in-1 tip here, they have change machines, right? They are usually next to the ATM. There's usually two. There's usually one by guest services and one up on the next deck up, usually by Pixels and around that area, where you can go. You can not only check your account by typing in your folio number, and why would you? Because you got the hub. Just saying. You got that choice, but you can also use that as a change machine down as far as 5s, not 1s. So you can do anything you want in there. So just know there's 2 of them usually on every ship. But yeah, have change. Keep it to one side. Put it in your safe. Take it ashore when you go ashore. Tipping the piano bar player. Tipping the musicians. You know, you walk around the ship a lot of the time and you see, oh my God, we were just on Pride and there was this really, really good Brazilian duo. I can't remember the name, but they were a really weird name. It sounded like a university name, Philo T or something like that. I forget the name, I apologize. But they were so good. And I didn't have any cash to tip them. Have a little bit of cash with you at all times. It'd be my recommendation. If you're a tipper, if you're not a tipper, like if you're Australian, they don't tip. Most English people don't tip. I do. I'm a 20% tipper, minimum. It's just who I am. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Tip number 4. Over and out. On to tip number 5. Tip number 5. Extra tip for bartender goes to that bartender. What do I mean by that? When you sign for your drinks, at the bottom of the thing, there's a little thing that says extra gratuity. The regular gratuity that gets printed onto that piece of paper goes into a pool for all the bartenders, right? But if you want to give your particular bartender an individual tip, you can give them cash, of course. Or if you write the amount under that and physically write it in, you'll see at the top of the chit is that bartender's name. That tip is going to go directly to that bartender, 100%. No tax or anything taken out. Got that? Got that? Got that? Look after your bartenders. They work so damn hard for you. If they exceed your expectations, which they will, extra little tip in there goes to that person. That's tip number 5. Tip number 6. Local tour companies have back-to-ship guarantees. Did you know this? So for all those of you that are scared off by Carnival threatening you that if you don't do a Carnival tour and the tour is not back to the ship on time, they're going to sail without you, this, that, and the other. Don't be scared, everybody. The tour companies that are local know this. They apply this stuff for you, so they will guarantee you being back to the ship on time. Look it up in their terms. I use Project Expedition quite a lot. You can go in there, under the link says shore excursions, you can type in your cruise, all the different cruise lines, all the different cruises are in there. It'll show you all the tours they've got available for each cruise. And then when you get to the bottom of that particular tour, you'll see back to ship guarantee. They all do it. Viator, a lot of them do it now. Tours by locals, all these companies do it. And you're putting more money in the local economy because Carnival aren't taking their big cut. A good example, we did a food tour in Puerto Rico with Tours by Locals, and they pointed out the Carnival tour that was opposite us with 25 people in it, going to 3 less places because Carnival's cut than we were going to, and there was 2 of us. We did a private tour. Not so many people do it. So if you want to do an overcrowded, overpriced tours to less places, go with Carnival. And if you want to do a less crowded, better tours to better places with more personalization, go with a local company. Just my suggestion. I know some of you won't do it, and that's fine. If you're 100% more comfortable with Carnival, and don't buy into their guarantee if you find a cheaper price difference. It'll make you about $2 if you're lucky. If you're lucky. I'll explain it if you want, but that's a whole other video. So there you go. Local tour companies have back-to-ship guarantees. Now, can I guarantee that they won't get you back to the ship on time myself? Don't put words in my mouth saying it would never happen. It could. I've never seen it happen. And I've done let's just say well over 50 Carnival cruises, and rarely have I done a Carnival excursion. So we'll just leave it at that. I can guarantee you one thing. The Bucks ain't winning the Super Bowl this year. That I can guarantee you. But I cannot guarantee they won't be back, but I can 99.9999999% guarantee it. So that's my get out just in case it happens. CYA. That is tip number 6. Tip number 7. Surge protectors are not allowed on board. Why? Well, I left school when I was 15. I have the education of somebody that's not very well educated. I am from the school of life. So it's way beyond me. So I looked it up on Dr. Google, and Dr. Google said, well, other people have said on Dr. Google that it actually can be a fire risk because ships are built differently than the irregular house, and surge protectors kind of work in the opposite way. So they are very dangerous. So don't use a surge protector in your cabin. What do you want from me? I'm not telling you. I'm only stating what it says online and what they say on Carnival. Don't bring a damn surge protector. Bring a power strip. Unsurge protected. That's tip number 7. Tip number 8. We are almost there. Tip number 8. Buy waters for your room in advance if you do not have the Cheers package. Remember, sodas can be brought on board when you go on the ship, but only in cans, not in bottles, up to 12 a person. You can bring 1 bottle of wine up to 750 milliliters, but that's the only bottle type you can bring on. No bottles of water, no bottles of Coke or soda or anything. So you can order the waters in advance to be delivered to your room. Just go into your account, go into the gifts for the stateroom area, and there's 2. There's one for gifts and there's one for food and beverage. Go into food and beverage one, find the bottles of water, boom, order, pay a lot less than you'll pay on board individually, have them delivered to your room to be there when you get there. Simple as that, right? If you have Cheers, not necessary because you get free waters with the Cheers. So every time you go past the bar or wherever on your way back to the cabin, can I have a water? You haven't got to buy a drink at the same time. You can just say, give me a water, and boom, away you go. Be nice about it. And also, if you have the Cheers, don't forget, and I'll say this again when I do the Cheers tip, you get 1 big bottle of water. Don't not get it because you won't drink it. Get it and leave it in the cabin for your room steward because they have to pay for their waters, believe it or not. So you can do that all week. Collect waters, collect waters, collect waters. Leave them in your room for the room steward. Yep, but buy waters for your room in advance. It's a lot cheaper than buying them on board once you get there. Boom. Tip numero 9. Multilingual. That's tip number 9. Download the hub. It may seem so obvious, but let me tell you this. If you don't have the hub, you're missing out on so much stuff. There's so much on that. Look up my video. I'll try and remember to put it in the links on here. If not, search my channel for the hub video. There is so much on there. You can check in for dinner if you're at the Alchemy Bar. You haven't got to go down there. You can check your account, see what you spent. You can book shore excursions. You can see what's happening. You can check menus. There's just so much you can do with a hub that will make your trip better. I know a lot of people want to switch off and unplug for the week and everything. Do that, but keep it open for the hub. Just saying. Don't trust the weather forecast though. It's not good. Not good. But download the hub. Watch videos on it, especially mine. Mine's the best one, don't you think? Just kidding. Just oh, shucks. Download the hub. Number 9. Tip number 10. Is it the last one? We shall see. We'll have a bonus. I don't know. You're about to find out after this one. But tip number 10. Cheers is more than just alcohol. See, a lot of people think, oh, I'm paying $70 a day. I'm not going to go into all the details. My simple math on Cheers is work out the price of the beer or liquor or whatever you're going to drink. How many a day do you think you'll drink? Divide it by 70 and see if it's worth it for you. End of story on that. But as far as what you get for the Cheers, it's not just alcohol. Free waters can save you a small fortune. Free specialty coffees without alcohol in them at the coffee shop. Don't go against your 15. You get 1 free big bottle of water, which I said in one of the other tips I gave you. Give that to your room steward if you don't want to get it, but get it and leave it in the room for them. So just remember, Cheers is more than just alcohol. Good tip people don't think about. Of course, I will add my always best tip about getting Cheers is simply that you can't buy a round for anybody else, which on its own can save you a small fortune. Because you can only get 1 drink every 5 minutes. But if I see one more ignorant statement about Cheers online on these so-called Facebook pages full of experts that don't know what they're talking about, it'll be one more than I saw yesterday. Because I see them every day. Know the facts. Look it up properly. Cheers is more than just alcohol. Will there be a bonus? Or am I going to go back to my wrap-up? You're about to find out. Tip number bonus. You know there'd be one. Do something you've never done before on a cruise ship. I guarantee you I've pretty much done them all. And if I can do it, you can do it. I entered the hairy chest contest many times, as a lot of you know over the years. No, I'm not wearing Speedos right now, and I'm not going to show that to you again. By the way, don't read the pineapples into anything. That is not me. But do karaoke. You want to hear some bad karaoke singing? Come and join me in the karaoke lounge, because I am the worst. You know what it's about? Personality and confidence is my opinion. The best singers can be the most boring. You know what it's like going in karaoke and listen to somebody that thinks they can singing a song like Tennessee Bloody Whiskey, which is my least favorite song in the entire face of the planet. Boring! And then someone like me goes up and makes a complete fool of himself, but sings a song like I Will Survive, or Play That Funky Music, or It's Not Unusual, or Party in the USA. A fun song in a fun way. What would you rather watch? Be honest. Yeah, I thought so. Anyways, do karaoke. Do a hairy chest equivalent. Get up there. Go out there and dance with everybody else, even if you think you can't dance. That is something I haven't done. Next cruise. When I have a good cruise director that I know, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do all that line dance rubbish in my suit. And I'll have Julie film it. It's going to happen. Oh, what have I just done? Just not next week in the Radiance, because it's got to be a cruise director I'm really comfortable with. Next time I cruise with Joey. Ain't going to be for a while, but when I cruise with Joey. Do something that puts you out your comfort zone is my extra tip. Do a pub crawl. Do something you wouldn't ordinarily do. Wear a suit. Oppo Suits. OPPOSUITS.com. $99.99 for the entire suit, jacket, pants, and tie. You don't have to get matching shoes, underwear, and socks like me. Just the suit's enough. Look at the compliments you'll get. You'll make new friends. Go on a ship, sit in the corner, play cards with your friends on the table. Absolutely fine. Not knocking it. You're not going to meet new people that way. Get out in the world. Do something that makes you uncomfortable, and you'll be more comfortable. Boom. That is definitely the last tip I'm going to give you. So I'm going to hand you back to, what's his name? There you go. How about those celebrities, huh? Whatever. Anyways, so that was my top 10 of my favorites. Not best ever top 10, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll have disagreements and arguments on there. But 10 of my favorite tips we've done over the year. And let's hope that we get equally as good tips next year. Send them in. Send me your cruise traditions. And then we'll keep this thing going, because I can't do it on my own. I say it all the time. Send me your tips. Send me your cruise traditions. Subscribe to my channel. And email me any questions you may or may not have. With that, here's to another year. Should be filled with a red stripe, really, shouldn't it? Oh, well. Next week. Well, actually, the week this goes out. Yes, today this is going out, and I'm going to be on Carnival Radiance celebrating, and I guarantee you I'll be in the Red Frog pub having a red stripe in honour of this great anniversary. So imagine this is me right now on Radiance having a drink in Red Frog, or a drink with Nicola, who's the bartender, one of the bartenders in Alchemy, or Doug, who's one of the comedians on board. We'll be hanging out and having a good old time, and I'm sure we'll all be celebrating 1 year of tips. And with that, I'll see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, Mick, at elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.